It's only fair that I take a critical look at my favorite childhood movie, which was Camp Nowhere. Don't judge me. Also, if I'm honest, I think it was because I was absolutely feral for Andrew Keegan. Moving on. This is Mud. His name is Morris, but they call him Mud. I think his bullies gave him that name, but then he's adopted it, which, whatever. He is looking down the barrel of another summer at computer camp, and he does not want to go. This is Gabby, Zach, and Trish, and they're all also supposed to go to summer camp. She is supposed to go to fat camp, which is absolutely bizarre because she is in no way fat. Zach is supposed to go to military camp, okay, and Trish is supposed to go to theater camp. Also, I hate the fat camp storyline and how prevalent it was in kids media. They were determined to make us have body image issues. Anyway, none of them want to go to their summer camp, and their parents are obsessed with sending them away for the entire summer. Like, they leave the whole time, and their parents are thrilled. So they come up with this plan to create their own summer camp so they can do whatever they want all summer long. So they go to the mall and they find this absolute weirdo selling cheese. And evidently he is a former drama teacher at their school and he's experiencing some financial distress. He is being actively chased by debt collectors, which is extremely serious. I don't know why they couldn't find him at the mall. I have no idea. Despite knowing next to nothing about this man, the kids go to his house to try to coerce him into being in charge of their camp and helping to trick their parents. And he's like, that's insane. I would never do that. Spoiler alert, he would. They're offering him $1,000 per kid, I think. And at this moment, the debt collector arrives to try to collect. So he, being a former drama teacher, gets in a disguise and the kids help him to save his like vintage collectible car, which is his prized possession. So when they help him save his car, he agrees to do the camp. And hilarity ensues. He dresses up as the head of each individual camp. So here he's being like a Richard Simmons type to convince Gabby's mom, who has some very deep-seated issues about her daughter's weight, that this is the perfect camp for her daughter. And he does that for each one. Like, he's a military guy, he's a computer guy. And the parents agree. They sign their children and their money away with hardly a second thought. And then all the rest of the kids in their, I think it's their middle school, they're not very old, find out that they're doing this and they're like, we're gonna tell unless you let us come also. So Mud's like, oh my God, you guys are gonna ruin my life. So he lets them all come to the camp. So they rent out this old abandoned camp and just go absolutely ham with the presumably tens of thousands of dollars that their parents have given them, or Dennis, to go to summer camp. This is very Blank Check vibes. Do you guys remember that movie too? And as a kid, this seemed like the best thing ever. And now I'm like, you are lucky to be alive. He set Dennis up in his own cabin and he's like, you guys are on your own for the whole summer, which if he's worried about a debt collector, he should be worried about prison for kidnapping a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds and taking the parents' money, whatever. And the kids are predictably feral. They're doing every stupid thing you can possibly think of and just trying to die or be maimed. And then Mud tries to be cool and he does get maimed and he has to go see this local doctor and Dennis has to go with him because he needs an adult and he falls in love with her. Meanwhile, Trish, who I thought was the most beautiful person alive, gets to kiss Andrew Keegan, Zach. And I was deeply devastated by this. While all this is happening, there's a local cop like nosing around because he keeps getting complaints because they're obviously being insufferable. Now, everything goes okay for a while and they've managed to keep everybody alive, but then things start to go sideways and the parents are demanding like a parents visit. So with their apparently infinity money, they set up a computer camp, a theater camp, a military camp, and put on a parents' day for all of the parents. And honestly, these parents seem to have absolutely no critical thinking skills. It is every single one of their first day on Earth. Parents start to get suspicious because the activities are like getting messed up because they're kids and none of this is real. And then the cops show up. This is the debt collector who is trying to get Dennis's car, I guess. And the cop shows up and he's like, there's no record of this camp existing. And the parents are all shocked because they're stupid and they didn't look into these places they were sending their kids at all. And the kids are like, we're cooked. But then Dennis comes out and he's like, everyone relax. This was an opportunity for your kids to grow all summer long. And the parents are like, that seems fine, because they were just blinded by the need for a full summer babysitter and they don't care who it is. And because Dennis made thousands and thousands of dollars in this kidnapping scheme, he gets off scot-free with his car and his new girlfriend, who is upsettingly not all that worried about her new boyfriend's involvement in whatever this was. And Mud and Gabby sort of like passionately kiss at the end, and then nobody has any consequences or repercussions at all.